Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be another declutter. Today I have bronzers and highlighters. Now I did declutter my highlighter collection in October, so it's really only been like 6 months, but because I am going through drawer by drawer and just kind of decluttering my entire collection, I thought I would kind of do like a touch-up declutter and see what I can remove from my collection. I haven't added too many new highlighters to my collection, so if I haven't used any of these since October, then they need to go, just because if I haven't used them in the past 6 months, I'm probably not going to use them anytime soon. So this declutter might not be as intense as some of my other declutters. I've been getting rid of a lot of products, but I still want to go through and just choose products that I'm no longer using to pass along to friends and family. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you like declutter videos, I'll link my playlist in the description box below, including some of my newer declutters. And let's kick it off with bronzers. Okay, so the first bronzer in here is from e.l.f. This is their primer infused bronzer. I have the shade Forever Sunkissed, and this is definitely one of my favorite bronzers. I wear this one all the time, so I am going to hang on to this one. It's so smooth and blendable. It really feels like a high-end bronzer. I'm also going to keep this one. It is the Flower Beauty Heat Wave Luminous Bronzer, and it's in Sunrise. This is a great option on days where I don't want to take the time to do bronzer and blush. Because it has a little bit more of a warm undertone, I think it looks really pretty and almost, I guess, like rosy on the cheeks. It has a little bit of a red undertone, so I do like using this one. And again, it's just very smooth and blendable, easy to work with. I do have 3 of these Too Faced bronzers. So I've held on to these for a while because I keep telling myself that they're going to become staples for me, and they just haven't, to be honest with you. So this one is the Chocolate Soleil bronzer. It's just a little bit too matte for me. I don't find that it blends out as well as I would like it to. So I'm going to declutter this one. I don't know where to put all of the products that I'm decluttering. Let me move some things around. This one is the Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer, so it's a little bit lighter. This one actually matches my skin tone a little bit better, and I have gotten more use out of this one, but again, I don't like it better than the e.l.f. bronzer or the Flower Beauty bronzer, so I'm actually going to declutter this one as well. And then the last Too Faced bronzer that I have is this one. It's the Sun Bunny bronzer. This one is more of a warm orangey bronzer. It has a little bit of shimmer in it, and I just don't love this color on me. It doesn't look great on my skin tone, so I'm actually going to declutter this one too. If you guys are new to my channel, I don't know what it is, but I have a hard time with bronzers. I very rarely find a formula that I love, so because of that, I really haven't purchased very many over the past year or two. I just stick with what I know and love. I do love this one from the Balm. It is the Take Home the Bronze, and I have the shade Oliver. This is like my #1 bronzer. It's just so blendable and smooth. It looks great on my skin. It's never patchy, never orange. And out of all of the bronzers in my collection, like, this is my absolute favorite. If I had to get rid of all of them and just keep one, this is the one that I would keep. I do have a ColourPop bronzer. This one is called Talk to the Palm. I haven't used this one a lot. I do think that it is a nice option. I'm going to hang on to this one and maybe put it in my everyday makeup drawer for spring. It seems to be very blendable, really easy to work with, and the color, it's a little bit dark for me during the winter, so I think heading into spring and summer, it could become a staple for me. So I'm going to keep this one for now. I think it's time to declutter this Catrice contour palette. I've had this for such a long time. I used to contour all the time, but I don't typically contour really at all. I just go in with bronzer and kind of use the Balm's bronzer as like a bronzer contour all in one. So I am going to get rid of this one. It's pretty old and I never reach for it. I have a few other contour palettes. So I have this one from Smashbox. It comes with 3 shades. It comes with like a yellow color correcting shade, a bronzer, and then also a contour. I do find myself reaching for the yellow color correcting shade. If I go a little bit too crazy with my bronzer, I might go in with like a damp beauty sponge and clean it up with that color. And then on the off chance that I do contour, which is very rare, this is the one that I use. So I am going to keep this one, but I think I will actually declutter this one. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow. The packaging is amazing. I know people rave about this, and I think it does work well, but again, because I don't typically contour, I feel like this shade is not my ideal shade as a bronzer. So if you are a fan of contouring, this is a really nice duo to have. It's a little bit more subtle. The contour powder is blendable and light, and the highlighter is definitely more of like an everyday highlighter. But I just feel like my mom or one of my sisters would love this and get so much use out of it. So because it's just sitting in my collection, I'd rather give it to one of them to enjoy. Okay, that's pretty much it for bronzers. I really don't have a lot of bronzers in my collection, so the rest of these products are highlighters. So I have 2 of these Flower Beauty highlight palettes. which I do love. This is the one that I typically reach for. This is the lighter one, and I love all three of these highlight shades. I wear them all the time, so I am going to keep this. I think that I'm actually going to declutter the darker one. I think it's a great option if you have a deeper skin tone, because these shades are a little bit darker than the ones in the original highlight palette, but typically they're just a little bit too dark for me the majority of the year, and I just don't get as much use out of it as I do the original highlight palette. So I think I'm going to declutter this one. It's really pretty. I would like to keep it, but I just don't use it enough because I feel like I need lighter highlighters for day-to-day wear. Okay, so right up front, I have my Becca Shimmering Skin Perfectors. I love these. I love the shade Opal. That is one of my go-tos. It's a little bit more of a cool-toned highlighter, but I just think it looks so pretty. I feel like it's having a hard time focusing on the highlighter. So hopefully that's not the case for the whole video, but I'm definitely going to keep this one. Then I have the shade Champagne Pop, which is a really pretty golden toned highlighter. And this is actually in my project pan. I'm trying to use it up this year. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. We'll see. But I do really love this color, so I'm going to keep this one too. I also have the shade Prosecco Pop, which is a lighter gold. This is a really pretty highlighter, but typically when I wear a gold highlighter, I reach for Champagne Pop, and I don't really wear Prosecco Pop. Even though it's pretty and I love the formula, I definitely haven't used this since October, so I do think it's time to declutter this one. The other gold highlighter that I love is this one from Ofra. It is their highlighter in the shade Rodeo Drive. It is one of my absolute favorites. It's pretty similar to Champagne Pop, but I feel like Champagne Pop is slightly more warm tone and it has like a hint of orange, whereas this one is like a true light champagne gold. So I'm definitely keeping this one as well. This one is Mary Luminizer from The Balm. I've had this one for such a long time, and I think that I always tell myself it's one of my favorites, but I really don't reach for it very often. So I think it's time to declutter this one. It is a pretty color, but again, when I reach for gold highlighters, I just feel like I have my go-to shades, and this is not one of them currently. The Essence Pure Nude Highlighter is such a great option if I want like a really subtle highlight, like a good everyday highlighter. So I'm definitely going to keep this one as well. I have two of these e.l.f. highlighters, which I do really like. They're somewhat newer to my collection. I think that I tried them for the first time last fall or last winter, and I think they're really pretty. They're a little bit more subtle than I thought they were going to be, but again, when I just want more of a subtle highlight and not like an intense blinding highlight, I do like reaching for these. If you guys missed my blush declutter, I did talk about Physicians Formula and the fact that they are no longer cruelty-free. So I have made the decision to declutter the majority of their products. If I didn't film YouTube videos, I would keep the products and just use them until it was time to declutter them if they expired or if I no longer liked them. But the truth of the matter is, because I film YouTube videos, whatever I'm using off camera, I talk about on camera. And if I know that I won't be talking about these on camera, then I'll probably just reach for a different formula to test out or to wear. So because of that, I mean, I'm just going to pass them along to somebody else. They're really nice. They're still in really good shape. I haven't had them that long, so I'm sure somebody else can enjoy them. I would have kept my butter bronzer and used that one up completely and put it in my project pan, but I actually broke it. I had like half of the product left and I went to grab it to put it in my project pan, like bin or whatever, and I dropped it and it smashed. So unfortunately, I don't have that one, but that is an example of a non-cruelty-free product that I would have kept and used up. This is the Ciate London Confetti Highlighter, which I really like. I got this in a BoxyCharm, and it looks really pretty on the skin. When I swatch this, it looks like it's going to be pretty dark and more of like a bronzy tone, but on the skin, it just looks really pretty and natural, and I feel like it doesn't enhance texture, which I do like, so I am going to keep this one. This is the Milk Makeup Flex Highlighter in the shade Lit. I've only used this a few times, but I've never been the biggest fan of it. It doesn't look great on my skin. I feel like it has like a metallic sheen to it that enhances texture, and it's just a little bit too intense for me for day-to-day wear. So I'm going to declutter this one. It's pretty much brand new, so somebody else will be able to enjoy it. This was part of the Smashbox Volata collection. This is one of the prettiest highlighters that I own. I just think the packaging is stunning. The actual design is gorgeous, but the color just looks so pretty. It's just a very subtle highlighter that looks pretty and natural on the skin. So I am going to keep this one because I do use it pretty often. This one is from Smashbox as well. Smashbox has the most gorgeous packaging when they do their collaborations. This was part of the Hood Witch collaboration. I love how this looks on the skin. I used to have quite a few pink toned highlighters, and then I think I decluttered them because I wasn't into pink toned highlighters, and I don't wear pink highlighters a lot, but when I do, like this is my go-to shade. It's so pretty on the cheeks, so I'm definitely keeping this one as well. And then I have two Ofra highlighters. So this one is Glazed Donut. This is an intense highlighter. It's the most intense beaming highlighter that I do own, and that's not a look I go for very often, but it is something that I like to wear on occasion. So I'm going to keep this one, and then I do have one that's like kind of similar. This is the Catrice 3D Glow highlighter in the shade Icy Glaze. Because I'm keeping the Ofra highlighter, I think I'm going to declutter this one. I just like the Ofra formula a little bit better, and these shades are pretty similar, so I don't think I need both of them because it's not a shade that I wear super often. So I'll keep Ofra and then declutter this one. The other Ofra highlighter that I have is this one. It's the collaboration with Samantha March, and they just look so pretty mixed together, but you can also use them separately. So I do love this highlighter. Okay, this is the Anastasia Amrezy highlighter, which I do love. I was talking about this highlighter in a recent video, and a few of you guys said that they should create more highlighters with this exact formula, and that would be amazing. I really like this color, and I do enjoy the formula. It's just really pretty, so I am going to keep this one. Okay, these are blushes. They're kind of like highlighter blush combos. I don't know why they're in my highlighter drawer, but I'm actually going to declutter these. These are the Essence Metal Chrome blushes. They look really pretty. They kind of have like a glowy effect to them, but I feel like mine dried out, which is weird when that happens to powder products, but makeup does expire and it can happen. And I just feel like they don't perform as great as they used to. So again, I don't know why they're in my highlighter drawer, but they are. So I'm actually going to declutter the 3 of these. Okay, I do have some Becca highlighters to go through. Now, I remember decluttering quite a few of these last time I did a highlighter declutter, and I was kind of torn because I love the formula, or I did in the past, but I'm going to be completely honest with you guys and tell you that I have not reached for these since I did my last highlighter declutter. This one is in the shade Rose Quartz Flashes Seashell. It's really pretty, but I just find that these aren't quite as smooth and creamy as like the regular Becca highlighters, so I am going to declutter this one. This one is really pretty. This one is called Amethyst Flashes Geode, but it's a little bit too dark for me to wear as a highlighter for day to day. When I reach for a pink highlighter, I like the one from Smashbox, and I don't typically reach for this one, so I am going to pass this one along. Out of the 3 of them, this one's my favorite, Champagne Dream Flashes Bellini, but I also kind of feel like maybe the formula changed, or maybe they're just not as creamy as I originally thought they were, because when I used this one after using like one of the regular Becca highlighters, I just don't like how it looks on the skin as much as I used to. So I do think it's time to declutter this one as well. Okay, I have used these mini ones. This one is in the shade Rose Quartz. It's a really pretty light pink, so I am going to keep this one. Then I have a Vanilla Quartz, which is really pretty too. I haven't reached for this one a whole lot because, again, like I told you guys like 7 times already, I have my go-to golden highlighters, and this is not one of them, so I will declutter that shade. And then the last one is in Opal. So I do have a full size of Opal, but these Becca highlighters break pretty easily. So when I go out of town, I always like to take this little mini Opal with me. So I'm going to keep this one too. This is the Laura Geller Baked Gelato Swirl Illuminator in the shade Gilded Honey. I got this in a BoxyCharm. I actually used to have it a long time ago. Like I remember purchasing this when it was really popular. And then I was so excited when I got it in a BoxyCharm because I had decluttered it, and I do wear this one from time to time. So I am going to keep this one. I do have a couple of ColourPop highlighters. This one is in the shade On the Cusp. This is one of my favorites. It's just very pretty on the cheeks. So I'm going to keep this one. I'm also going to keep the shade Wisp, but this one is really pretty too. It just has like a golden undertone. You know what? I think I can declutter the shade Scrumptious. It's really pretty, but again, when I wear pink highlighter, I usually just reach for the Smashbox one because that one's a little bit more intense, and I don't usually wear like a subtle pink, and I haven't reached for this one in a while, so I think I can declutter this one. This is the Fenty highlighter in the shade Sandcastle. I don't know how I feel about this. I was so excited when I got this because they were doing a little mini kit where you get this shade and then also a mini gloss bomb, and I love the mini gloss bombs, and the other Fenty highlighter that I tried worked perfectly for me. That one was in the shade Hustla Baby. It was like a really pretty gold. When I wear this one, I don't love how it looks on my skin tone, and I don't know why. I don't want to get rid of it for some reason, and I don't know why, because when I wear it, I'm not in love with how it looks. So, you know what? I need to declutter it. It's really pretty. No, I need to declutter it. I'm not going to wear it. It just doesn't look great on me. I do have this Pop Beauty highlighter in the shade Gilded Light. This is really pretty. I do like how this looks on the skin, but I feel like Pop Beauty is hard to find. Whenever I talk about them in my videos, I feel like nobody can find them. And again, because of that, I just don't find myself reaching for this very often. I know it's weird, but when you film YouTube videos, I feel like that's always in the back of your mind when you're using products and trying them. At least it is for me because I'm always testing out products. So because of that, I don't find myself reaching for it very often, and I do have shades that are very similar to this one, so I think I can declutter this one. I'm also going to declutter this Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Beauty Light Wand. I always tell myself that I like cream highlighters, and I just don't reach for them very often. I think as far as like cream formulas go, the only one that I really love would be the ColourPop highlighters. So whenever I wear this, it doesn't look great on my skin. I'm just not the biggest fan, so I'm going to pass this product along as well. These are really nice. These are from the brand Kaleidos. They look really pretty on the skin. They kind of have like an iridescence to them, and I've just been enjoying them. They're somewhat new to my collection, so I am going to keep these. I do have two loose highlighters. So I have this one from e.l.f. It was part of their Nabella Noir collaboration, which I do like. I'm going to keep that one. I'm also going to keep my Artist Couture highlighter in the shade Summer Haze. I don't use loose highlighter a lot, but I love using those two shades. They're just easy to work with, and I think they'll be really pretty for the summertime. I just got these Essence palettes not too long ago. I love this bronzer palette. Like I told you guys, for some reason, a lot of bronzer formulas don't work for me. This works so well for me. These are extremely blendable and smooth, and they're so pretty on the skin. I typically mix the two lighter shades together, but I do think it will be nice to have this one if I do get any sort of tan during the summertime, so I won't feel the need to run out and buy a deeper bronzer. I'll have the option to mix all of these together. But this palette is like $10. It performs so well. I really do love this. And then I also love the Pure Nude highlighter palette. They also have a deeper option, but I do have the lighter palette. It just comes with 4 really beautiful highlighters. They're a little bit more subtle on the skin, so I do like using these for everyday wear. And then I just have 3 of these Soul Body highlighters. These are technically shimmering body powders. You can use them on the body or on the face. This one is in the shade Rosé. No, Rosé. I don't know why I said that weird. This one is in the shade Platinum, which is really intense, very, very gorgeous. And then this last one is in the shade Soft Pink. This is my favorite out of the 3. So I do love these. I wish the packaging was a little bit smaller because these are pretty big. So I do like the fact that this one is like the size of a true compact, but I do enjoy using these. Okay, so this is what I'm left with. These are the products I'm decluttering, and then I'm keeping the rest. I actually decluttered a lot more than I thought I would. I feel like I say that at the end of every declutter video, but I started out with 55 products. I decluttered 23 and kept 32. So I actually got rid of 42% of my collection, and that does make me feel pretty good because when I was opening my drawer, I actually have highlighters, bronzers, and blushes all in the same drawer. It was just getting a little bit too full. I feel like the drawer was getting stuck. So now that I've decluttered, all 3 categories, I feel like it will be a lot more manageable. So all of these products will be going to new homes. I'm sure other people will be able to enjoy and use them. There are some really pretty colors, but it doesn't mean that I need to keep everything for myself. So I feel pretty good about my collection right now. I hope you guys enjoyed today's declutter video. If you want to check out my other declutter videos, I'll link them in the description box below. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you very soon with a new video. Bye.